Good Friday afternoon to you. I don't know what's going on with my camera thing. Sorry, I know I'm a Pac-Man ghost face again today, but hey, at least I have some lipstick on and you can see me. All right, so as I was getting ready to do this, I was just really reminded of a story that meant a lot, a testimony, and a testimony is just talking about what Jesus has done. I seriously don't know what's going on with my camera. But, so that is a prophetic word. We can talk about a prophetic word a different time, but, it doesn't always mean, and the Lord is coming back at, hi guys, the Lord is coming back on Tuesday at 3:30, right? No, a prophetic word means you are speaking what Jesus is thinking about and telling you to say. That's the short version. And I can do a bigger teaching on prophecy and prophetic words, but it is as simple as that. So I just want to demystify the ways of God because he really wants it to be simple for us. However, in addition to that, I felt like today's word will be really helpful for someone, and it does fall into the realm of conflict resolution. That's what I said I was going to talk about, and that's why I began thinking about it. But I wanted to share with you a story of how God taught me by the spirit of the law rather than the letter of the law. So as you may notice, there's a little person who needs to put the book up higher because I'm trying not to show my people's face. And I talked to him about it, and he said, yes, absolutely, go ahead and tell about this situation we went through. So this little person in the back was adopted into our family in 2013 and 5 years old, and came with healthy in so many ways, but came with some stuff that you come with just naturally. And one of those issues, one of those battles, one of the spiritual battles he had was lying because of fear. And he had learned to make other people happy. Do what you got to do to survive and make other people happy, because if you don't, you're in trouble. And that's common to humanity, but he was just especially good at it. So when it came time to catching something that was wrong out of fear, that lying spirit is enabled. And let me tell you, he was good at it. But we know we can parent by Holy Spirit, and I would look at him and I really could not tell, but something in my heart would say he's not telling the truth. And so we dealt with love, we did everything we could do, but you also have to give consequences and be a consistent parent. So that is what we were doing. And we were removing privileges, we were taking things away, but it just began to escalate. Like the lying, instead of decreasing, increased exponentially. And we were all exhausted about it, and we prayed about it, and we went through inner healing, deliverance, all of these things as we do by Holy Spirit. That's how we parent, and training and talking and everything. So at one point I am flat out broken down in the floor, sitting next to him, weeping. We are both crying because we're at the end of our rope. I want to throttle him, and he wants to not be near me, and we're both, it's just the tension was so high that we just both had a boo-hoo. So I was like, you know what, I need to be apart from you right now and go gather my ever-loving. So I went into my office, and I sat down, and I just cried out. I'm like, Lord, something's got to give. I need some help. What do we do? What do I take away next? What is going to hit his heart? And very clearly, and when it's that clear, I call it inner audible. Audible means you hear it. So I have not yet heard the audible voice of God, but inner audible, very strong. And Holy Spirit said to me, why don't you just start over? And I was like, whoa, what do you mean start over? Do you not know about consistent parenting? This is something I say, I'm a woman of my word, and I will keep my word, won't I? Because my kids know that if I say it, not the part where I'm like, okay, honey, we're leaving in 5 minutes, working on that integrity part. So I wonder any of our children can tell time because we're like leaving in 5 minutes and that's an hour later. But I digress. Okay, so I said, wait, what about all of these things? I need to be consistent for him, especially for him since he hasn't had consistency in his life. And the Lord said to me, don't you have the power to just start over? Can't you just let it go? Hit the overs button. And it stumped me. Okay? I'm not saying I was walking in unforgiveness toward him. And I'm not saying that we weren't parenting in the way we knew that would line up with what anybody would say. We were very consistent. But the Lord was like, I have some insight for you. I have a different way to do things than what you were thinking. And so I just said, huh. So I texted Cliff, said, this is what I'm hearing. What do you think? He's like, great, go for it. So I just walked back in there and I was like, all right, this is how we know it's Holy Spirit, because I sure would not have thought of doing this. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to start over. We're hitting the overs button. You get all of your privileges back. I forgive you. I love you. I am not looking for you to mess up. I expect you not to, but if you do, if you stumble, we'll deal with it. But you're free. I forgive you. I love you. Come here. Let's hug and kiss. And so we did. And do you know what? It was beautiful. It really did change everything. And I've gone back to it and referenced it. Holy Spirit draws it up in my heart in certain situations where I'm like, okay, overs button, because it is escalating, because fear is getting a hold of us. The law that I didn't think was the law is what was perpetuating things and escalating it. And the Holy Spirit just said, try peace. Now, I am not saying this is how you do it every time, and I'm not saying that you're legalistic if you stick to your word and you have consequences, because we do. But I'm telling you, be open to Holy Spirit. And I am telling you this as an adoption story because I know it's really useful, and you might want to just pull your hair out sometimes when you're trying to deal with a situation under the spirit of the government and how they tell you how to do things, all right? Because that's really hard. But I hope that you're able to translate this, because I know this is a word for at least one person out there, or I wouldn't be talking about it. Unless it's a word for me, and then you're getting the benefit, and it usually is. But I'm saying I know this is a prophetic word for some of you out there, and it can bring peace into your life to allow yourself to just step off the ride, get off the merry-go-round, and just start over. That may even be for yourself, where you've tried this discipline and tried. And while, yes, that's important, you're like, you know what? Whew, let me just quit being in torment, striving to do this, or let this other person just completely off the hook. Okay, so I know it's been helpful to someone, and I appreciate it when you share these, because that just exponentially shares the word that the Lord's giving. And I'm not being presumptuous saying that he does it. I just have faith, and I know that he does it through all of us. And I appreciate you buying those Kingdom 101s. This is not in that book, but this is where they all come from. And liking our page, hitting the thing where you get the alert, whatever. I just know that the Lord's really confirmed in my heart that this is something that is making him happy, so it makes me happy. All right, anything else I was going to say? Yeah, pray for our country today as we're doing the Supreme Court hearing nomination, that God's will be done, and honor one another no matter what. All right. I think that's got it for today. Yeah, so be blessed. Release that Revy, and I will talk. This really did fit conflict resolution. It just isn't by the book. Imagine that. So next, I will be talking about conflict resolution, continuing to talk about it, and I hope it's helpful. I appreciate the comments. If you have questions, I really love it when there are questions in the comments or something you've learned. This is interactive. You are absolutely welcome to share something that's helped you. Please do. Okay, all right, well, I'm almost to town, and I've got to run by the school, so I will catch you guys later. Be blessed and release that Revy.